All right, let's talk gold and silver. You've got two precious metals, but man, are they on wildly different paths right now. Today we're going to dive deep into their clashing stories and figure out what the 2026 outlook really means for you as an investor.
Okay, let's jump right in. No messing around. In one corner, you've got gold, which is just confidently smashing all-time highs. And in the other corner, you have silver, which just took an absolutely staggering 30% crash. This crazy contrast sets up the big question we're tackling today. Which of these metals is the smarter play for 2026?
So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the unique story of each metal. First, gold's thriving ecosystem, then silver's wild roller coaster ride. After that, we'll put them head-to-head for 2026, and then wrap it all up with a playbook to help you figure out your next move.
Okay, so you've got two precious metals, but really, you have two completely different stories unfolding. One is a story of stability and strength, and the other, well, it's a high-stakes drama full of incredible volatility.
Let's kick things off with gold. Now, instead of just thinking of it as a shiny lump of metal, analysts are looking at it as a complete ecosystem, especially in a huge market like India. What that means is its value isn't just about the price swinging up and down. Its real strength is coming from all these different interconnected sectors that are all thriving at once.
And what's so cool about this is how you can see that ecosystem broken down. You've got high-value lending, where gold is the backbone, the collateral. Then there's the booming retail sector, with jewelry demand just going through the roof. And finally, you have these super accessible digital assets, ETFs, exchange-traded funds, that make it easier than ever for everyday people to invest. And here's the kicker. Each piece of this puzzle actually makes the others stronger.
Okay, so let's zoom in on that lending piece for a second. Analysts are incredibly positive on giants like Muthoot Finance. So why are they so excited? Well, it's pretty simple actually. As the price of gold goes up, the collateral these companies hold becomes way more valuable. That makes their loan books safer and a whole lot more profitable. It's a direct line from the price of gold to the health of these huge financial companies.
Now this just nails the retail story. An 83% projected upside for a massive brand like Kalyan Jewelers. That's not just some number on a spreadsheet. It reflects real, tangible demand. You can literally walk into any major mall and see it for yourself. People are flocking to these trusted brands, and their aggressive expansion is clearly paying off big time.
And that brings us to the third pillar, the digital side of things. Look, with all the global uncertainty out there, investors are looking for a safe place to put their money. And they're finding it in easy-to-use things like gold ETFs. This projection for the Nippon Gold ETF just goes to show that this digital demand is a seriously powerful force propping up the entire golden ecosystem. Okay, so that's gold. Now let's switch gears and talk about silver, because its story is, well, it's a whole different ballgame. If gold is all about stability, silver is a dramatic, high-stakes ride. A big reason for that is that silver has this dual personality. It's not just a precious metal, it's also a critical industrial component, and that creates a world of both massive risk and massive reward.
And wow, this timeline just perfectly captures that whiplash, doesn't it? In 2025, silver was the absolute star, surging an unbelievable 147%. And then, bam, on a single day in January 2026, it craters by about 30% as everyone rushed for the exits. But here's the crazy twist. Even after that terrifying drop, the forward-looking outlook from analysts is still surprisingly bullish.
You gotta love this quote from the Citi analysts. Gold on steroids. I mean, does anything sum it up better than that? It perfectly captures silver's personality. It has this incredible potential for huge amplified gains, but it always comes with the risk of equally sharp, painful corrections. That's exactly what we just saw happen.
And you can see that optimism, that bullish sentiment, right here in the price targets. Even after the crash, major players from Motilal Oswal in India all the way to Citi globally are calling for some serious upside. So you have to ask, right? After a drop like that, why are they still so positive? Well, it's because the fundamentals driving silver's long-term value, especially that surging industrial demand from green energy and AI, are still very, very much intact. All right, we've heard both sides of the story. Now it's time for the main event, the head-to-head showdown, to see how they stack up for your 2026 portfolio.
This table really just boils it all down for us, nice and simple. You've got gold on one side, low volatility, driven by that safe haven demand we talked about. And then there's silver, high volatility, with its price being pulled around by that critical industrial demand from sectors like green energy and AI. The key thing is, the outlook for both is bullish,
But you better believe the ride for silver is going to be a whole lot bumpier. So what does all this mean for you? Let's put together your playbook for how to think about this market in 2026.
All right, let's wrap this up. What is the big takeaway for 2026? This is really your key decision point. The path for gold looks stable, steady, backed by that diverse ecosystem. The path for silver is a much more volatile, high-risk, high-reward play that's tied to the future of industry. The most crucial thing to remember is that the long-term consensus from analysts for both metals is bullish. So the right choice isn't really about which one is better, it's about which path fits your personal tolerance for risk.
And that really leaves us with the one big question, the one only you can answer. Based on everything we've talked about, are you looking for the steady, ecosystem-driven strength of gold, or are you ready to ride the volatile, but potentially very rewarding, wave of silver? Which metal fits your strategy?